Happy Friday. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Stampin' All Day with Bev. My name is Beverlee Morales, and I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for following me on Facebook or subscribing to YouTube, watching the replays, being here live. Hey, Marcia. I just totally appreciate all of you. I am having so much fun with this Trucking Along stamp set. I know we can't get the punch yet, and that is a shame, but we can still fussy cut the truck out if we need to. It's not hard, and we can still use the stamp set, right? So because I've been playing with it so much, I wanted to share with you another idea I had. So this is Trucking Along Part 3. I'm going to start it in 1 minute. I accidentally put 2 o'clock as my start time when I put my reminder out on one of my pages. So I corrected that. So I hope people saw the correction. Let's see, what else do I want to say about this? I am not using the truck today. I am using the rusty buckets, or the buckets aren't rusty normally, but I make them rusty, and the little flowers. And I'm going to create a unique background with them. I love everything that is dainty, feminine, sweet, just little tiny images that when you bring them together make something big. And I think this is just lovely. All right, it's 1 o'clock, so I'm going to turn you down and we're going to get started. Let me do that right now. There we go. All right. Here is my July host code in case you decide to place an order with me. Let me see. There it is. Okay. And here is my link. You can shop with me here anytime you would like. Also, my YouTube channel is Beverlee Morales Stampin' Up. And my email is mofun44@icloud.com. I'm not going to give away the card that I made at the last live today, just because I'm going to save that as I normally do for Sunday. So there it is there. And also, I haven't mentioned what I'm giving away as a prize to one of my customers. So, and there's a reason for that. The new catalog is going to be electronically available to me in 5 days. The new catalog, and I will be able to look at that, and then I will be able to pre-order some things from that catalog. And I think that I'm going to give one of the people that order for me in the month of July, whoever wins the random drawing, a new item out of that catalog. I don't know what they are yet. Hi, Cookie. So I can't tell you what it is, but I'm sure it's going to be really neat, and I know you won't have it because it's brand new, right? All right, so that's what I'm doing there. Let's get started with today's project. I'm going to start out by telling you, which I kind of already did, is that I used Hey Patty, the 2 of the stamps. Well, actually, I'll show them to you here. Remember, I have construction going on. I apologize every time for that, but we got to do what we got to do. All right, so I'm using the little flowers that are inside the buckets. Here's the flowers, so you can stamp a color, any color you'd like there. And I'm using 2 sentiment special delivery and sending you sunny thoughts. I am not using the truck. This is the code for the stamp set only. It's online. I didn't expect him to be that loud today. I really didn't. Hi, Pam. It's an online exclusive, but the bundle is not available right now. Okay, but you can find the stamp set online. The other item that I'm absolutely loving. I did not expect to love I knew I was going to like it a lot, but I didn't expect to fall in love with this folder so much. It's called Painted Posies, and here's the item number 159175. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous folder. Now, I thought I would use this as a background on my card because I am using the flowers from the stamp set. So I thought the coordination would work well, and yes, it did. Okay, so let me show you the card. It is full of texture, and it is very, very feminine and dainty. Look at this card. Look at all the flowers on this card. Look at the texture on the base, the texture on the layer. What you can only see a little bit of it, but that matters. When you put it all together, that matters. The texture from the ribbon. This is the natural ribbon. I also am using, because it's natural, the baker's twine. Hi, Donna. A little bit of vellum because I want the sentiment to be see-through so you can see that line of flowers underneath it, even though there is a sentiment on the front. And notice what I did using the folder images. Now let's turn to the inside. Special delivery. Hi, Annie. And the bottom of the cardstock is embossed and painted with a mini blending brush, a blends, and then some more cut out from the folder. So let me know what you think about this card. I think that you're going to first of all say to yourself, Lord, that's a lot of work. It's not. And I'm going to show you right now what I mean, okay? All right, so we're going to start with 6 1/2 by 3.5, so that they're 1/2 inch wide. That fits perfectly for the buckets of flowers. Hi, Nina. By 3.5 inches long. Each one of these 6. This is watercolor paper. Almost forgot to say that. That would have been bad. Cut. You love the card. I can't read the whole thing, but thank you. I'm glad you like it. When I cut this, I roughed up the edges like I'd shown you. See, the edges are roughed up. That on Sunday, I think it was, a little bit. So I'm lining up these as if they were already on my card. And I'm going to stamp the buckets first because I'm not going to emboss. Oh, good. I'm glad you like it, Cookie. I'm not going to emboss this time, so I'm going to give this black ink time to dry before I take water to it. Now I'm just going to ink up these buckets, and to keep everything uniform, I'm just going to stamp them as if it was one piece of paper instead of strips. Okay. Then I'm going to space off to the right and do that along all 6 of the strips. See how fast that is? And then I'm going to come off and stamp one more bucket on the end to fill up the lines. Now you're saying, but you gotta color all that in. Remember, there's a stamp for the flowers, so it goes really, really quickly. And I just thought it was an absolutely darling background. Just darling. Okay, so almost done with this. And I could have easily just stamped one strip for you, but I wanted you to see that I wasn't kidding or exaggerating when I say this is quick. So you can see that it truly is. Yes, it's definitely a special card. It is not one that you would just send out you know, multiples of or willy-nilly to somebody you barely know or anything. Let's look at it again. It's definitely a special card. Okay. So here's all these guys. Now I'm going to set them aside because I want them to dry. I want the ink to dry before I put any watercolor to them. You know what? I can do the pink part. It's just the buckets and the leaves that I'm going to watercolor, so I can do the flowers. There's the buckets. Here's the flowers. I really am surprised. He has not been this noisy all morning, so I apologize. But he's got to get the work done. He just had the city out here, and we passed our first inspection. So now we're on to the next part of the remodel. And I'm hoping that that all goes well too. I know it will. Now I see how I start in the middle and I go off to the right. You don't really have to do that. You could just stamp all of them on one strip like this and finish up. It's just a habit I got into for some reason, and I used all the same color, but you could definitely use different colors for the flowers. This is Flirty Flamingo. Those two are done. So let's finish up these here. So I would say if you're not teaching, look what I did. There we go. Well, that was an easy fix. That's nice to know. If you weren't teaching, I'd say this card might take me 15 minutes to make. So it's not bad. But with teaching, I go a little slower. Hey, Deborah. All right, so let's put our ink pad and our stamp away. Done with those. And let's stamp our vellum so that as well has time to dry. I'm going to use copper clay. Tap, tap, tap. Set the vellum paper on the grid paper so I can see where I'm stamping straight. And I will cut this out after I give it some time to dry. Okay, so I'm going to take the card base and the layer piece and the inside layer piece, and I'm going to emboss those. So this crumb cake piece that's on the card, this piece here, second layer, is 3 11/16, so just one line before 3 1/4, and 4 15/16, one line before 5. That is that measurement there. This is regular 4 by 5 1/4, and this is a regular 4 1/4 by 11. Okay, so let me get my machine over here. I have platform number 1, and I need platform number 4, and I need my folder. Okay, so this folder, the orientation, Stampin' Up! Is to my right on the bottom there, and the orientation is up and down like this. So I'm going to take my card base, try to make sure you can see better, and this time I'm going to line up the end of my card with the black line. The black line is on the folder right by the word Stampin' Up!, and I'm going to push it so I can get as many flowers as high up as I can get them. I'm going to turn it sideways so I can line it up on the black line. Okay. So we can't go like this, right? We might ruin the edge. So I'm going to have to pull it back up. I forgot this part. Line it up with a black line and fold it over the cardstock, so it over the folder, so it, see, fold it over like that so it fits. Okay, now number 4, platform number 4, and run it through. Okay, look how deep that is. So deep and beautiful. If you have it, hey Sharon, if you have this folder already, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you don't, look at that. Okay, now we're going to take the crumb cake piece and do the same thing. Yes, I know I'm covering up most of it, but you can see it at the bottom and at the top. And on the sides, just a hint. And I really think that makes a difference. Attention to detail, right? Love, love the embossing. Me too. Look at this in crumb cake. Holy smacks. So pretty. So look at them layered on top of each other. Okay, so I was going crazy by this point because I was loving this so much. All right, so now I want to put flowers on the bottom of my inside layer piece. How did I do that? How did I do that? I'm trying to remember. Can't do it sideways. How did I do that? I don't remember. Okay, let's see here. Because the orientation's this way, it's got to fit. Did I break my rule and go sideways? I must have. I'll probably think of how I did it later, but right now I'm just going to go sideways. But I don't want you doing that very often. You can ruin the spine. There it is on white. Can't see if you can see that. See how pretty that is? All right, so the inside is done. Now, I'm going to move this behind me for a second. I'm going to take another piece of crumb cake cardstock, and I'm just going to do 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That's already there, okay? And I'm going to take my folder, the Stampin' Up side, so it says Stampin' Up right there. I'm going to open it up. You can see Stampin' Up right here. And I'm going to take my copper clay, it's the color I'm using, open up the stamp pad, and tap it onto this folder. Tapping it onto all of the flowers. Okay. Then I'm going to place my cardstock on the clean side, just for my finger's sake, not to get all full of ink, and press it. Back through the cut and emboss machine. Once in a while it doesn't hurt, yeah. I don't remember doing it sideways like that, but I must have, huh? Anyway. Look at this. Is that not gorgeous? Okay, I'm going to run this to my sink just to rinse it off. I'm not going to rinse it off, but that's what I need to remember to clean it. And what do I want? Why did I want to show you that? These these pieces here are fussy cut from here. And I just absolutely loved the look. Okay, so let's stamp special delivery. Tapping lightly. And then take my mini or small blending brush, take most of the ink off onto my scrap and lightly go over the embossed images. You can go as dark or as light as you'd like, as high or stay as low as you would like. Oh my gosh, isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so then fussy cutting out some of this paper here, and we can add this like that, just for some more texture on the inside. I think I'm going to use mini glue dots just so everything's instantly dry, and we can just get this in the card and not have to wait on anything. Oops, I guess it didn't come off. There we go. Okay, I lined up the second one with the bottom of the card. And there we go. Open up your card, take your liquid multi-purpose glue, and put that in there. We're done with this part. Now I want to show you something that may happen to you. See, it's not happening to this one so far, but I think it happened on this one. Yes. I left it so I could remind myself. See that little pucker? Whenever you, this one's not doing it, but whenever you have a little pucker like that, you're going to take a scrap of cardstock, add some glue, and run it right under the pucker, and then press, and it will be completely smooth. And that's super simple. Okay, so now for the front. We can't put this down yet. Why? Because see, the ribbon goes underneath, so we need to get the ribbon and we need to get the flowers on first. Okay. So how did I get these? I fussy cut out these two roses right here, and each one's going to look different. See that? Just fussy cut them out. Now, if you're thinking that's a whole lot of work, Bev, it really isn't, and I'll tell you why. This embossing folder embosses so deeply. These flowers are so pushed out, and the ferns and everything, they just rise right out of the paper. Very deep, a very, very deep impression. And so I'm just moving my paper and cutting around these images, and it didn't take me any time at all. And I saved everything else because we can use them on different things. Okay, so see how easy that cut out and how fast? Okay. So now let's go to, I think it's safe to color all of these. I don't need them in a line per se as far as being straight or anything. I just need to have them here so I can color them. I need my paint palette, and there it is. I need my water painters. This is the small pointy. It is easy, it really is, Marcia. Here is the water painters number 151298. But thank you, I'm glad. I get that a lot. I have a lot of people say, you make everything look so easy. I'm hoping I'm explaining well. Hey, Cheryl. All right, so I'm going to wet the brush, and I'm going to take some of my palette color. I have a napkin here just in case I get too much water on anything, and I'm just going to tap like this in each bucket. It's that quick. You are not taking a lot of time. When it gets too light, go back for more color, more water if it's starting to dry out. Leaving white spots is perfect because that adds shading. And away we go. It takes no time at all. After you get them painted, you can go back to each strip if you want and look at them closer and see if you want to fill in a little bit more. Oh, good. I try. Okay. So here we go. Some are lighter and some are darker. I have to tell you a funny story. So my yard, right here outside my studio, because of these rusty buckets, I have one out on the side of the house. It's very, very, very old. I've had it forever. It's a treasure of mine. And I went and got it because of this card. These buckets just reminded me of it. And I wanted to place it where I could see it better. I wanted to move it around, kind of like moving furniture around in your house. So this morning at 6:30 in the morning, when it was nice and cool still, I completely moved furniture around outside. But it's rewarding. I mean, I move plants around and it just looks like, you know, a new entrance now. I have a ladder out there and I move that, and it's just fun. So my husband thinks I'm totally Looney Tunes, and maybe I am. But whatever makes you happy, right? I say go for it. Okay, so now look at all those little rusty buckets, and I'm going to clean off my brush, get that color off, and I'm going to go to Old Olive, and now I'm just going to tap in a few places where there's a few leaves real quick, just like I showed you before. Some over here. I think I need more color. So I hope you guys are liking this. I think that these buckets make the cutest background, and I'm very pleased with it. So you can just, you don't have to use the truck at all if you don't want to. We're just getting green in the areas where the leaves are. I'm not trying to be in each leaf and all that stuff. It doesn't matter. It just looks cute no matter what. So this painting, I don't know if anybody looked at the time for me or for yourself, but this painting I would say takes about 5 minutes after you let the black dry. Hi, Andrea. Well, thanks for coming. And I apologize if you read the time that I first put on wrong. I think on Stampin' All Day with Bev, I put 2 o'clock instead of 1 o'clock. And my good friend Viola corrected me. She's found the error and told me about it, so I fixed it. But I don't know if you guys saw the edited post. All right. So there's all the painting. Now we're going to go to this piece here, and I'm going to line up the top with a grid line on my paper. And remember, I've always taught you guys to start in the middle. Well, this, I'm just eyeballing, but this looks like the middle to me right there. So then I want you to go towards the top, leaving space at the top, and then down at the bottom, leaving space at the bottom. Then we can place these here and see how our spacing's going. Now I know I need to lower this one, lower this one, add this one, and then space out. We want enough room between all of them for our ribbon. Or you do not have to add the ribbon if you do not want to, because you have all that texture with the folder underneath you already. Okay, so we're going to take the glue. See, that spacing was simple. And we're just going to put glue on the back and set it back down where we picked it up from. Hi, Mary. Welcome. And set these down. Now I'm also looking to make sure that I'm even as far as the sides go, straight this way. Now I'm not letting it set up, and the only reason I'm not is because of placement. I don't want to take them all off and put glue on the back, let the glue set up, and then lose my placement that I just got. So it will keep popping up at first because it's wet, but you just need to press it back down. You're in control, remember. And then place them back. Okay. And one more. I think it's so cute. I think it's so cute. A little more space for my ribbon. Okay. Let's turn it over and press. Can you see how deep that is? Alrighty. Now, this natural ribbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I know it's a lot of ribbon, but I think it's worth it. 4. 5. Okay. Mini glue dots. Hey, Florence. Put one, press down onto a mini glue dot, press down onto a mini glue dot. Same with the rest of them. And 2 more. And last one. Okay. All right, press really hard. Get that mini glue dot to come up with the ribbon. And then just stick it right behind the card and pull. Press with your thumb and your pointer finger. Press with your thumb and your pointer finger. Now you're going to need your silicone mat because the mini glue dots might be sticky on the back. So you don't want to stick to your grid paper, right? Press, pull, whoop, over too much. There. Press. Let's do it that way from now on so we know we have it long enough. So lay it across the top, press, and press. Look how pretty that made it. Do you think that's so pretty? Happy Friday for sure. I'm a lucky girl. My daughter came here after work. She's gonna stay with us all afternoon, evening. So she will entertain us, poor thing. But she's in with Mom right now, so it's great. My husband's out on his Friday lunch, which is also great. He needs a little break. Oh, I forgot. Did you guys notice what I was wearing when I started live? I have on a pink dress. And I came down, and Ken was sitting there watching TV. And I said, look, I have on a Barbie dress. Because today, they're making such a big deal about that Barbie movie and stuff. So I dressed in pink. Because women, can do whatever they set their mind to in that whole rigmarole. So he goes, you really are Barbie. And I started laughing. He goes, you're married to me. My husband's name is Ken. So we just had a giggle with that. So look at this. Look at this layered on top of the base. Isn't that pretty? Okay. So now I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to put glue. All around. Center it. And press. Okay. So I fussy cut. Now I don't mind these little guys sticking out. I think it adds to the rustic look, but not everybody's like me. So you can just take your pick tool or your scissors and just push those guys under and get them attached to that mini glue dot that's under there. So if you want to do that, you can do that. If not, if you're like me, you can just let them hang out. Scissors is actually easier. Good to know. I'm going to push these in just to show you again. And then it's going to attach to the mini glue dot that's already there. Okay. All right. So I took, like I said, I'm not going to fussy cut this whole one out because I've already done one. But I fussy cut these 2 roses out and they're on their long stem. Each one of them comes out different. This one didn't have as much ink as this one did. They would drive you crazy. See, everybody's different. So then I cut out another fern, and I'm going to put these 2 together with a mini glue dot. Just like that. And then I'm going to get my linen thread. I am going to double it. So let's see what length I got for you. I got 14 inches. Not that that's what I always do. I just double it. I just grab a piece. But this one is 14 inches. And we're going to place it around. Let me get the cards out of the way. Place it around the flowers. I let go. Okay, place it around the flowers, and then we're going to tie a knot to get it to stay. And then we're going to tie our bow. Okay. And then I place this right there with a dimensional. I'm going to use minis. Right there and right there should be enough. You know how I like the tops loose all the time, but if you want it down solid, you continue on with dimensionals. Little trick, if it's giving you difficulty, press your nail into there, the paper will pop up, and then you can just grab it with your finger and pull. Okay, so I'm going to set that down there, like that. And then I have one more little rose that I just like. So mini glue dot that one, and you can just add as many of these cutouts that you cut out from your folder as you wish. Okay, so now we're going to go to my vellum that's been patiently waiting its turn. I'm going to test it to make sure it's dry. Still a little bit wet, so I'll be careful. It's my paper cutter. Slice off a banner. Take my snips, cut off the end, go right up the middle, corner up to the middle slit, corner up to the middle slit. Then we have our little banner there. Another mini glue dot. And I'm putting that right where the S can be seen, right across that ½ inch strip of flowers. And look at this card. Here is the inside. Special delivery. I do think this is a special card for someone in your life. Now this one has Stella on it, because who doesn't love Stella? So just grab your Stella and cover these flowers in the foliage, the ferns, and add even a little bit more elegance to this card. Change up the colors. But with this stamp set, just looking at this stamp set like this, would you ever imagine such a feminine, sweet card? Stamps are so versatile. Your tools, it's all up to you. So I hope you enjoyed your time here, and I hope you'll be back with me on Sunday at 7 Pacific time. I appreciate you for being here, and we'll see you next time. No questions? Yes, the stamp set's available. The punch is not, therefore the bundle is not. Online exclusive. Thanks, Cookie. All right, so you find it online if you want that stamp set. All right, thank you guys. Bye-bye. Thank you for the hearts.